Hey guys, what's up? My name is Brian and welcome to my Guild Wars 2 channel. Today I'm going to be continuing my series where I go through every profession, picking out my favorite weapon sets, abilities, and then go through the trait lines. Today I'm going to be covering the Elementalist, and I'm really excited for this video because this is the profession that I'm going to be playing in Guild Wars 2. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get started. Alright guys, here's my Elementalist build. I'm going to start off with the weapons. I decided to pick up a scepter and dagger, and the reason why I like this combination so much is because they complement each other very well. When the scepter is given a lot of defensive abilities, the dagger is given a lot of offensive abilities. And when the scepter is given a lot of offensive abilities, the dagger is given a lot of defensive abilities. So they work together very well. When dealing with the Elementalist, you also have to know that they do not swap out weapons. What they do is swap out different attunements. You get you get fire, water, air, and earth. So you basically get an extra 10 abilities, say to like a warrior that swaps out weapons. So I'm going to start off with the fire attunement. Again guys, there's a lot of spells, so bear with me. I'll probably have an annotation if you just want to skip over the spells and go straight to the healing, utility, and elite skill. So starting with number 1, you get Flame Strike. You strike your foe with flame. Another thing guys, just a quick little thing, is that the skill tree I use updated, so they have all these new things like the damage, the range, burning, so cool stuff like that. So if you want to go check that out, you can. I'll have a link below. So okay, so you got Flame Strike. You strike your foe with flame. Dragon's Tooth. Drop an explosive Dragon's Tooth on your foe. This is my favorite Elementalist ability by far. Phoenix. This was the move that was used in the intro. You release a fiery phoenix that first attacks foes in a line, then explodes, returning to you, removing conditions, and granting you vigor. And then for the dagger, Ring of Fire, damaging nearby foes with a ring of fire, burning enemies that pass through it. And then finally, Flame Touch. You damage foes in a cone in front of you, and then you deal more damage to burning foes. Going into Water Attunement, Ice Shards. Fire 3 Ice Shards at your foe. Shatterstone. Create a Shatterstone at the target area that explodes after 2 seconds. I don't think I'm going to be using this move a lot. I really don't like it. Water Trident. You cast a Water Trident that damages foes and heals allies. And then the dagger. You are Armor of Frost. You protect yourself with frost armor while active. It chills foes that hit you, so that's really powerful. And then finally, Healing Wave. You heal yourself and nearby allies, removing a condition. Going into the Air Attunement. Lightning Strike. Strike your foes with lightning. Arc Lightning. Cast an arc of electricity at your foe. And then Blinding Flash. You blind your foe with a flash of lightning. Going through the dagger, you're given Ride the Lightning. This is a really powerful move for the Elementalist. You ride the lightning to your foe, then striking all nearby enemies with an electrical burst. Now it's going to be really powerful because if you're not targeting your foe, you can just use it and make it into like a charge or a savage leap, like which the warrior has. So you can definitely get across the map to get to a node or get to maybe resurrect somebody in PvE, something like that. So this is going to be really good for the Elementalist. Then Updraft. You gain swiftness from a gust of wind that launches nearby foes. Alright, then finally, the Earth Attunement. Stone Shards. You fling stone daggers at your foes, bleeding them. Rock Barrier. Envelop yourself with a stony barrier that improves armor. And then Hurl. You summon a rock and hurl it at your foe. But first you have to activate Rock Barrier. Then you get Sandstorm. You blind your foe with a blast of sand. I'm not really sure how this is going to work with the Blinding Flash, which blinds your foe with a flash of lightning. I don't know if that's going to have some diminishing return effect. And if it doesn't, this is going to be really good for the Elementalist. And then finally for the dagger, you get Earthquake. You trigger a quake at your location, knocking down foes and dealing massive damage. And then Churning Earth. Hold and release to make nearby earth churn, crippling nearby foes before unleashing a seismic wave that damages and bleeds them. Alright, let's go through my Elementalist healing, utility, and elite skills. Starting with the healing skill, I picked up Signet of Restoration. The passive is you gain health every time you cast a spell, and then when you activate it, you heal yourself. The reason why I think this is going to be so good is because as an Elementalist, you're going to be casting so many abilities and switching attunements and stuff that little heal that you gain from the passive is going to go a long way. Going into my utility skills, I picked up Mist Form. You morph into an invulnerable vaporous mist for a brief time. The duration is 3 seconds and it also breaks and removes stuns. Then I picked up Lightning Flash. You teleport to the target area. This is going to help me basically get out of the battle and stay at max range from my opponent at all times. And then finally, Arcane Power. Your next few attacks do critical damage. This is going to help the Elementalist just do as much damage as possible to your opponent. And who doesn't want their attacks to crit? And then finally, Tornado. You shape into a tornado that damages and launches foes. If you saw any of the 5v5 tournaments or any Elementalist PvP video, you know what this move does. Alright, let's go through my Elementalist trait lines. Now, this was probably one of the harder trait lines I've had to do, and the reason why is because there are just so many good traits that I wanted to pick, and there's just so many ways you could kind of like mix and mash it up. So the thought process going into this is, what did I want to do with my Elementalist? And I decided I want to do as much damage as possible, and this trait line definitely shows it. So going into Fire Magic first, I put 30 into here. You have a 20% chance to cause burning whenever a foe attacks you in melee. 20% chance to cause burning each time you crit. You damage at your location when attuning to fire. All your fire weapon skills recharge 20% faster. You do 5% more damage to a burning foe. And then finally, you deal 10% more damage while in fire attunement. So this definitely helps out your fire attunement a lot. Going into air magic, I only put 10 in here because I like these two traits a lot. Zephyr speed, you move 10% faster while in air attunement. And bolt to the heart, 20% more damage to a foe with less than 25% health. This is really good for PvP and PvE. And then finally going through Arcane Power. Attunement bonuses linger for 5 seconds longer. Gain Arcane Power at 75% health. This is just really good. What Arcane Power is this one right here. Your next few attacks do critical damage. So as an Elementalist, if you're not taking any damage, just run into somebody's AoE and get down to like 75% health just so you can just start critting on your opponent. So that's just really good. Grant yourself Fury on attunement. Move 15% faster while wielding a dagger, which I am wielding a dagger. I'm not sure if this means in the main hand or offhand, and if it does mean offhand, this is going to help me out a lot. Arcane Precision. Skills have a chance to apply a condition on critical hit. And then finally, Elemental Attunement. You and your allies gain Might when attuning to fire, Swiftness when attuning to air, Protection when attuning to earth, and Regeneration when attuning to water. So that was my Elementalist pre-build. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a comment down below on which profession you want to see me cover next. Thank you to all my subscribers and everybody that's been leaving comments and likes on my videos. I'm up to like 31 subs, so thank you guys so much. And I think that's about it. So I'll talk to you guys later.